All right, let's dive right in. What does it actually take for a boy to become a man? Well, the source we're digging into today has a pretty surprising answer. It's not really about looking forward. It's about taking a journey back. A journey right back into boyhood itself. So right off the bat, we're hit with this huge central question. How does a boy become a man? It's this fundamental journey we're all on, and the source we're looking at today suggests the very first step is, believe it or not, a step backward.
So, let's start there. Let's begin this journey back to boyhood and really try to understand why our past is so incredibly critical for who we are today.
The whole idea here is that our experiences as boys kind of set the trajectory for our entire adult lives. You know, the patterns we follow, the beliefs we hold deep down, the way we see the world, none of that started yesterday. It was all shaped a long, long time ago.
And of course, that shaping wasn't all one thing, was it? Some of those early experiences were amazing. They really set us up for success. But others, well, maybe not so much. They shaped us for good and sometimes for ill. And this whole journey back, it's not just about getting nostalgic. It's way more active than that. The real goal is to reclaim all the good stuff, the life-giving parts, and at the same time, find some real healing for all the parts that we're not. Okay, so if we're looking back, what exactly are we looking for? That brings us to this idea of the ideal, the intended design of what boyhood was really meant to be. The central metaphor we're given here is so simple and powerful. To be a boy is to be an explorer. It's a time in life that's just defined by this built-in curiosity and this drive for adventure.
And you've seen it, right? I mean, think about it. From the moment a little kid figures out how to conquer the stairs to that day a boy decides to hop the back fence to find a secret fort with his friends, it's all about pushing boundaries and discovering the world. It's just a natural instinct.
Mark Twain just nailed it with this quote. That raging desire for adventure, it's not just some phase. It's a fundamental part of the whole journey. So let me ask you, what was your version of digging for hidden treasure?
Now, to really paint a picture of this ideal world for a boy, the source uses a really powerful analogy, the Garden of Eden. A world that was perfectly designed for its first person, Adam, who's seen here as the very first son.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because it presents this fascinating paradox. This ideal world was meant to be two things at the exact same time. A place just brimming with adventure and mystery, but also a place that was completely, totally safe and secure. Just imagine that for a second. A world that's practically begging you to be daring, to explore, to take risks, but where fear is just gone. It's not even a factor. That's the kind of environment we're talking about. Total freedom, and yet total security.
But that brings up a huge question, right? How is a world of both total freedom and total security even possible? I mean, that sounds like a contradiction. Well, that brings us to the secret ingredient, the shelter of strength.
So this ideal environment, this place of safe adventure, it doesn't just happen by accident. It has to be created. It can only exist under a very specific condition. And that condition is the sheltering strength of a father. According to this source, this is the foundation. This is the absolute key that unlocks that paradox of safety and adventure. So what does this sheltering strength actually do? Well, it creates this deep down feeling of safety. It makes a space where, the evils and dangers of the world are held back. And it's only from within that security that a boy gets the true freedom to go out and explore. So we've got the journey, the ideal world, and the strength that makes it all possible. But what is it all for? What's the point? What is the ultimate treasure that a boy is actually meant to find on this adventure?
This entire setup, the adventure, the safety, the father's strength, it all has one single, really profound purpose. It's meant to create the perfect space for a boy to discover his true identity.
And here it is. This is the identity he was meant to find. To know deep in his bones that he is the beloved son. To really get it. To understand that he is the apple of his father's eye. This is presented as the ultimate treasure of boyhood. And that just leaves us with one final, powerful question to really think about. When you look back on that journey, in that world of exploration, what treasure was meant for you?